Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. We're in Jamaica Inn. Jamaica Inn can be found in the middle of Bodmin Moor, Cornwall's most famous smuggling inn. In 1750 it became a coaching inn, linking the towns of Launceston and Bodmin. The inn is about halfway between both towns, and horses were changed and weary passengers rested before continuing with their journey. The inn has a very famous reputation for being haunted, but today we're going to explore its links with Daphne du Maurier and her book titled Jamaica Inn. You're in the stocks for your terrible jokes.
I've been convicted of pasty smuggling.
So let's go in and see what this old inn is like. The inn plays heavily on its links to smuggling. Just look around you. There's artefacts everywhere. It's fantastic. And it also gives a huge nod to the Daphne du Maurier connection.
It was a cold grey day in late November. The opening lines to Daphne du Maurier's Jamaica Inn.
Gotta do this, don't you? Photo opportunity. Step into the original bar and have your photo taken with the heroine of the book, Mary Yellen. Oh, and that's the vicar. That's meant to be Francis Davy, the vicar of Alton. I know what you're up to, Davy. Poor Mary. Just keep still. The heroine is recently orphaned Mary Yellen, who leaves her home in the idyllic Helford to go and live with her aunt at Jamaica Inn in Bolventa. Mary is horrified to find that her pretty Aunt Patience has become a shadow of herself, living under the influence of her husband Jos Merlin, a bully of a man who is engaged in smuggling, murder and worse. Sent to bed by her uncle Jos, Mary hears strange sounds in the courtyard, horses' hooves on the cobbles. Through a crack in her blind, her room above the porch gives her a view of bundles being carried to and fro. So in Jamaica Inn, Daphne du Maurier's book, we have a gang of wreckers. It's slightly different to smuggling. Wreckers actually lured ships by hanging lanterns to make it look like a harbour. They lured them onto a rocky outcrop so they could deliberately wreck the boat, murder the crew and steal the goods.
Pint of your finest ale, young lady.
Are we going wrecking tonight?
Oh, come on.
There's a museum to Daphne du Maurier's book here at Jamaica Inn. Let's go and take a look. I love this pub. It's got such great atmosphere. The museum holds probably the best collection of smuggling artefacts in the county, featuring the history of Jamaica Inn, an educational historical theatre show that recounts many of the myths and legends of wreckers and smuggling from the past 300 years.
So, the museum is just going through this door. You've got Daphne du Maurier room straight ahead of you.
Yeah.
Alright. And you'll exit a door at the back of the room that we just walked through, the cinema room.
Yeah.
But then there's a short 10-15 minute video about the Jamaica and also a bit about Daphne du Maurier and her book and smuggling.
Oh, brilliant.
And then just exit into the bar the way that I want to.
Lovely.
Alright.
Thank you ever so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
The museum also includes a memorial room to Daphne du Maurier and several impressive artefacts. Most notable are her Sheraton writing desk and typewriter.
Smuggling was rife in Cornwall at the end of the 1700s,
After several wars, the British government had raised taxes on luxury goods like brandy, silk and tobacco.
It says, as of old, so today. But Cornish crab boats have always had a hand in smuggling. Simple folk with seemingly simple ways arouse no suspicion. But the Cornish fisherman is close and keeps to himself. What goes on in the darkness of night in deep waters is his affair and his alone. This shows Talon Bay, Sarah? Proper Smuggler's Cove.
Oh yeah, that was as bad as Pressure Cove, wasn't it, for smuggling?
Trying to outwit the customs men, smugglers brought their contraband ashore in secluded coves, hiding it from customs men in caves or using sinker stones to weight down barrels of brandy. With the threat from smugglers and wreckers, gold and coin needed protecting.
Look at that. That is really quite a chest.
Armada chest, 17th century. A wrought iron coffer with complicated locking mechanisms. Made in Nuremberg, South Germany.
So earlier we were saying there's a difference between a wrecker and a smuggler. So a wrecker would hold a lantern on the cliff top and make it look like there's a little harbour or a refuge for a boat. So they could deliberately wreck the boat, murder the crew and steal the goods. Oh, look at that.
Brilliant.
10 seconds.
Okay.
If you wake at midnight and hear a horse's feet, don't go drawing back the blind or looking in the street. Them that asks no questions isn't told a lie. Watch the wall, my darling, while the gentlemen go by. 5 20 ponies trotting through the dark. Brandy for the parson, baccy for the clerk. Laces for a lady, letters for a spy. And watch the wall, my darling, while the gentlemen go by. The English in 1497, 1549 and 1715. The Loo and Polperro in the south, to Trebareth, Tintagel and Boscastle in the north, before travelling on to Deptford.
Do you enjoy that?
That's fantastic.
Good
yeah.
little film, and it tells you everything you need to know. Wow. Hand-cooked chips with ranch sauce, bacon and chicken.
Wow, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got Coronation Chicken Baguette. Playful, isn't it? Nice.
If only just come into focus. It's all that
Cheers.
beer.
All that beer.
I don't know what I've got really.
Looks nice anyway.
It does.
Right, I got Jamaica in ale.
Oh, very good.
3.8%. Cheers. Very nice.
It's like,
Oh no! Oh, and it's haunted as well.
That was absolutely brilliant. Fantastic.
I really enjoyed that. Obviously capitalising on the story for Daphne du Maurier, but
It's fabulous, isn't
it
it?
is. It's tongue-in-cheek entertainment, good food.
Oh, we've lived in Cornwall all our lives. We've driven past this place many a time, haven't
As
we?
a kid, this was the main road.
Never been in. Certainly worth a visit. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Thumbs up to Jamaica Inn. Oh, it's cold. Let's get back in the car. So in the story, the Vicar of Altarnun is the culprit. He's the ringleader of the wreckers gang. We're going to go over there now to Altarnun Church and find the vicarage. So a few miles from Jamaica Inn is the tiny, beautiful, picturesque village of Altarnun. And this is where the vicar, the ringleader of the wreckers, lived. Let's go and find the vicarage.
She says the old chapel.
We're going to pop round the back of the church and see if we can get a bit of a view of the vicarage. Dedicated to St Nona, Altarnun Church is known as the Cathedral of the Moor. Its beautiful tower, spearing 130 feet into the sky, took more than a generation to build. In the author's imagination, Francis Davy becomes the Vicar of Altarnun. Davy, with his white hair and prominent thin nose, like the curved beak of a bird, was a devil in a dog collar. No more evil, more enigmatic character peoples the pages of any of Daphne du Maurier's novels. So here's the Vicarage of Altenham.
It's for sale, Sarah. We
I
could
know, it's
we could
cool.
live here.
No, we couldn't.
Why's that? How much?
That's a lot of pennies. So it's called Penhallow Manor. We're assuming because it's next to the church, it's the vicarage, aren't we? So
Have to do some research.
we will. It looks like the vicarage. It's the traditional big house right next to the church, isn't it? And those gates going into the grounds of the church.
All the clues are there.
It is, isn't it? To help us grow our channel, please subscribe and consider supporting us on Patreon.